everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Unperfect Podcast. I feel like I haven't been here in a minute.
You haven't?
We have a new sign in the background. It feels all mixed up.
So today we're going to talk about prayer, specifically wartime prayer.
And it would be a great time for wartime prayers in the heavenlies and here on the ground level. Spiritual warfare is something that took place in the unseen realm, but we are literally seeing it take place, and people need to know how to handle it spiritually and in the natural.
Well, I think that what's happened in our culture, it's like when you walk into the airport, creating these different colors for warnings. Like today we're in yellow, today we're in orange, today we're in red. Is that we've gone into the red zone, which is high stress, lots of crisis, lots of, and it can almost desensitize you to the intensity of everything that's going on. You just kind of start to live with the warning, the threat of terrorists.
Right. And as we have talked about in episodes past, people do one of two things when they're in fear. They rise or they hide. When people go into hiding, so to speak, when they're afraid, they'll numb out, they keep themselves busy. And when it comes to prayer, one of the things that keeps people praying is because they feel like when they pray, they have to think about what's going on in the world, right?
Well, and today, what we really want to talk about is prayers that are effective in wartime and not necessarily, praying my list, praying about a crisis or a reaction.
We're praying about what we need.
To pray with this understanding of what heaven is releasing, that we can really pray with effectiveness.
It's prayers in many ways, and one of the types of ways we pray is to intercede, is pulling on heaven, pulling down what we need from heaven into the earth. And most people have learned to pray by sending up prayers to heaven, prayer requests. This is a whole different level where we're pulling on heaven and pulling down to earth.
When you look at this, the scriptural example that I want to look at is the difference between what happened on the most critical night of the life of Christ to prepare for the weight of sin and ultimately to become sin, while he picks a place. The place we choose to pray is significant. His choice was, in that moment, Gethsemane. It means olive press, where the pressure is released. He makes this choice because it's a familiar place to him and the disciple. It's not like he had never been there before.
Right.
He wants them to be very close to him and to be very separated from life in the city. I mean, he could have gone into a building in Jerusalem or something of that nature, but he wanted this garden because in this garden they could be intimate, I think get loud, get strong, be intense.
Yeah.
It's important to him that they have this safe place to pray.
Okay.
It's the most important piece here is pray. Where you're going to pray needs to be a safe place. It needs to be a place where you can get loud, where you can get intense, where you can go after the things that you need to go after.
Where you feel like that you can connect with God with uninhibited.
Right.